Coming on to the next question. Eight friends: Pushpa, Kashyap, Rekha, Marisha, Tripura, Umang, Devika, and Balman. Okay, Balram. Fine. So these are Pushpa, Kashyap, Rekha, Maria, Umang, Devika, and Balram. Okay, fine. So are seated around a circular table facing the center, all not necessarily in the given order. Each of them is born in different month from among February. Okay, so these are the months. Feb. Okay, fine. There are exactly two people seated between the persons born. Okay, so now we are onto this. So for such questions, you need to draw a circle. Okay, making eight people seated is like one, two, three, and four. Okay, when you draw four lines, there are eight peoples can be seated. So I will be writing the names at the outer by red color. Okay. So if Pushpa is sitting here, I will write P, and I will write the months at this side. Okay. Month will come onto this side in the black. Okay, fine. So coming on to this part now. So I have taken this and I am erasing the P. Okay, fine. So coming on to this part. Okay. There are exactly two people seated between. Okay, so I am underlining what I feel is two people born in February and March, but neither of them is seated directly opposite to the table of. Okay, neither of them directly across the table from Pushpa. Okay, our negative. Yeah, Rekha and Devika are seated immediately next to each other, and neither of them is born in December or March. Pushpa was born in. Okay, fine. So for this, I am making another table. You would ask for what? To give them this. So here I am writing name, and we have months here. Okay, in which month they are born. So I am trying to create a table here. Okay, so I am writing all the names here. P K R M. Okay, T U D, and last is B. Balram. Fine. Okay. So I'm taking this, and now let's have it. So we have the exactly to. Okay, fine. First point we have Rekha and Devika are seated immediately next to each other, and neither of them is born in December or March. So neither Rekha is born in December and or March. Okay, and cross March, and Devika also. So Devika is also not in D, not in. Fine. Next we have is Pushpa was born in October. Okay, so Pushpa is born in October and is seated second to the right of the person who is born in December. Okay, second on the right of the person who is born in December. Pushpa. Both Kashyap and Tripura were not born in December, and neither of them is seated immediately next to Pushpa. Okay, so we have this point as Keshav and Tripura. Keshav and Tripura are not born in, both were not born in December. Okay, not in December, not in December. Tripura was born in March. Okay, so this is in March. So remove this not born. Okay, fine. In this we have born in March. Is seated second to the left of Deepika. Okay, second on the left of Devika, who is born in June. Okay. So Devika is born in June. So I will remove the not December, not March. Okay, fine. It is in June. Fine. Now we have so from here when I realize this, Devika is also on the second of this. Okay, Tripura is born in and seated second to the Devika. So we can plot this point we have. Okay, so we can plot three. So I am plotting are seated immediately next to each other and neither of them is, so we do not know is Rekha sitting. If I take, okay, let me if I take this, or I need to interchange these places. Are you understanding? Or Devika could be here and Rekha should be in the side. Fine. So we do not have this point because here it is written are seated immediately next to each other. But we do not know either it is Devika is on to the left of it or vice versa. Okay, fine. So they could have interchanged the position. So I am taking case by case. Okay, so I will be taking case one. In this case, there could be only two cases. Okay, so I am writing Devika and Rekha in this place. Okay, fine. And let's check. And if this goes wrong, then we will move on to the case second. So we will solve like that. Okay, fine. So we have this point now. Okay, fine. So coming on to this point, Tripura was born in March and seated second on the left of Devika. So when Devika is here, the left side of this is goes to this side. Okay, fine. The left goes to this side. Huh? So second left is this point. So I am writing that Tripura is on to this place. Fine. Tripura was born in March and is seated second on the left of Devika and was born in June. Okay, fine. Who was born in June? Okay. Rekha does not celebrate her birthday in. Okay, so Rekha does not celebrate it in Feb also. Fine. Tripura is seated immediately next to the person who is facing Rekha. So, who is facing Rekha? Tripura is seated immediately next to the person. Understand this point very. This will tell you where Rekha is seated. Tripura is seated immediately next to the person who is facing. So, if Tripura is seated somewhere, Tripura is seated here now, and now is seated immediately next to the person who is facing Rekha. So, he should be Tripura and Rekha try to understand this relation, and again it is written Rekha who is seated third on the left of the person who was born in October. Okay, so Tripura is seated immediately next to the person who is facing Rekha. So the person who is facing Rekha in this case is somewhere here, this person, and Tripura is seated immediately next to the person. And we have already given Tripura this place on the account that Tripura was born in March and is seated second on the left of Devika. Okay. So how could we manage this? Okay. So we have to figure it out. So, in what is the case then? Then the case says that what we have considered is wrong. Okay, are you understanding why it is wrong? Because Rekha is, if Rekha is seated here, then the person coming opposite to it is in this place, and the Tripura should be on to the next. Immediate next, either here or here, which cannot be happen in this case. So we are understanding that this case is wrong. So what will be the case then? What will what will be the case then? So let me tell you how this will get solved. Okay. So let me oh, make it clear to you. I hope everyone has understood this point. So everyone now understands that Rekha cannot be seated in this place. Rekha should be seated in this place because now a person who is facing Rekha will come to this place So he is immediately next to. So this is the case which the question is talking about. Okay, fine. Are you getting it? Okay. Who Tripura is seated? Okay. Who is seated third on the left of the person who was? Rekha is seated somewhere. Who is seated third on the left of the person who was born in October? So third to the left. Okay. So somewhere the October person should be here. And because why? Because this person, his third left is first, second, third. So who is born in October? It is Pushpa, I think. The name is Pushpa. Okay. Okay, so this point is utilized. Umang was not born in December. Okay, so Umang is also not born in December. So there is only two positions left where December either B or M. Okay, let's look who is born. M, okay, is born in August. So this comes to August, then this comes to December. Okay, because all others are not born in December or they are. Okay. Kashyap, who was born in September. So Kashyap is born in September. Fine. Kashyap, who was born in September, is not seated immediately next to Pushpa. So Kashyap is not either onto this place, not onto this place. So Kashyap can be seated here or here. Fine. Next here is okay. Kashyap, who was born in September, is not seated immediately next to Pushpa. Neither Marisha nor Balram are born in either. Okay. So Marisha, okay, this point is Balram also. So the December, we know this. So this the last point does not help us in any of the ways. Okay, so let's check. Umang, we do not know in which month he is born, and we are with R. These two we do not have a point in which month they are born. So let us check what are months were there. So coming to the months were February, which is not allotted. Okay, so Feb is not allotted. Next is March. March is allotted to T. Okay, fine. April, and there is August also. Okay, so this is August. This is August now. Maria is in August. Okay, Maria was born in August. So please keep this. Huh? I will AU and AR. Okay, fine. Then AR, AP, April is also not there. Okay, fine. June is done. August is done. September is also done. October is done. December is also done. So we are left with only two. This is Feb. So if R is not in Feb, then it is in and April, and this Umang is in Feb. Okay, so we have all these. We have allotted all the points. I hope everyone understands this. So we just need to go for the seating arrangements. Okay. So I am just reading this conditions once more and we will try to figure it out. Okay. There are exactly two persons seated between persons born in, okay, so I am writing there who is born in what. So December D is born in June. Okay, fine. Rekha is born in April. AP. And T is in March. And okay, this is okay, fine. So there are two people seated who are born in Feb and March, but neither one of them is seated immediately across the table from Pushpa. Okay, so yeah, it is allotted to D. Fine. This point is null and void now. Rekha and Devika are seated. I mean this one. Huh? From here to here, it is not valid. This point is valid. Huh? There are two people between Feb and March. Okay, fine. Devika and Rekha are seated immediately. We have used this point. So I am just underlying what points you have used. In exam also you try that you cancel out what points you have used so that you do not reread things, okay, between each other, and neither of them is born because we know their birthdays, so this point is also not. Okay. In exam you do it one by one. As you read and as you plot it, you cancel those points. Pushpa was born in October. We have used this point. and is seated second to the right. Okay, so now we have not used, but we will use this, and is seated second on the right of the person who is born in December. So we now know now who is seated second on the right of the person who is born in December. Second to the right means there this position. So this comes to December. Who is born in December? So Balram is born in December. Now we know the Kashyap will go to this position because there Kashyap cannot sit in these two positions, and he is in September. Fine. So I am cancelling this point that not in Kashyap cannot be seated here. Fine. Both Kashyap and Tripura were not born in December, and neither of them is seated immediately next to Pushpa. Okay, so let us check this point. Kashyap and Tripura were not born in. Okay, we have utilized this point. Fine. And were not born in December, and neither of them is seated immediately next to Pushpa. This is the case here also. Tripura was born in March. We have used this point, and is seated second to the. We have used this point. Who was born in we have used. Rekha does not celebrate her birthday in Feb. We have used this point. Tripura is seated immediately next to the person who is facing. We have used this point very well. Okay. Who is seated third to the right of the person who is born in October? We have used this point. This is the person who is October. Umang was not born in December. We have used this point. Okay. Maria was born in August. So August, fine. We have used this point. Yes, we have used it. Kashyap, who is born in September, is not seated immediately. Okay, we have used this point. Fine. So we have only left with the first point, which we haven't used, and with that point we need to solve. Okay, fine. There are exactly two people seated between the person who is born in Feb and March. So there are exactly two people seated between persons who is born in Feb and March. So if the March person is here, then the Feb person will be obviously here. Then only two people can be seated. If we place Feb here, then there will be no person between them. So this Feb is Umang, and the last which is left is so P done, K done, R done, M not done. Okay, fine. So here it is M, and this is Akash. So this is the question we have. Moving on to the questions. Okay, we have plotted. If anyone has a doubt, revisit it. Okay, in which month was Pushpa born? Pushpa was born in October. Fine. If you have any problems, then let me know. Who among the following was born in April? April we have is R. Okay, fine. So coming on to the Rekha part. Who amongst the following is seated exactly between Kashyap and, okay, so K and M. K and M is T. Okay, fine. K and M, the person is T Tripura. Four of the below five are similar in certain manner and thus form a group. Okay. So Devika in June. Devika D and June. Okay, it is exactly their birthdays. Pushpa October. Kashyap is February or what? Kashyap is not February, and others will having the same dates. Okay, so Kashyap and family. This is out of it. Okay, who is seated directly across the table from the person who was born in December? Okay, who is born in December? December is Balram, and his opposite is T. Fine. Uh, the person who is directly across. Okay, so this is triple. These are the answers. Okay, fine. Thank you. Bye.